Hi patrons, welcome to the Patreon exclusive January 2021 update video. This is a new thing for me. I don't do vlogs a whole lot, but I have enjoyed doing vlog style update video type content in the past, and while it's not something that I think needs to be on the main channel so much, it's like those videos don't really perform very well, which is totally understandable because, you know, not everybody wants to tune in to me just talking about the channel and what's going on. But I figured that you guys, the patrons, have some stake in this and are certainly kind enough to invest your resources into making the channel better. And if I can provide some information for you, I think that's a good use of my time. And especially on a monthly basis, I think it's a good reward for any patron who might be interested in learning more about the channel, how things work behind the scenes, where exactly your Patreon funds are going towards, and just what's going on in my life, basically. So that's why this exists. This exists not only to give you a little bit more of a thorough glimpse into my life, it also just helps me get better at making vlog-style content and just talking to a camera, which I've been wanting to do a little bit more. So what I thought I would do in this video is I have a list of things on my monitor over there, and I'll probably take you around my studio and show you a few things. I wanted to briefly go over the Patreon changes that I'm enacting. So it started when this sort of reflection process of making these copyright changes happened when Twitch started enforcing the DMCA a little bit more strongly in November of 2020. If you don't know, the DMCA stands for the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, which was signed into law in 1998. And it basically is a law that governs how content can be distributed and policed on the internet. As you would imagine, a law that was written to govern how things are distributed on the internet in 1998 has a lot of problems with how it applies to the 2020 internet, which is so different from 1998. I was born in 1998. That was ages ago. So there are bound to be problems with it. However, I'm doing my best to remain reasonably compliant. What I mean by reasonably compliant is that technically, extremely technically, there are so many grounds that somebody could you know copyright claim you for. Like something as simple as using the image of Mario in a video that is earning advertising revenue, or just not even necessarily earning ad revenue, just in a video period, could net you some sort of punishment. And while it's very unlikely that that's the case, there's not really any stipulation that says it's not the case. But when I say reasonably compliant, I mean I'm not going to go through every video or every thumbnail and remove every instance of Mario, just because the odds of anything bad happening because of that, I think, are extremely slim. However, what I am doing is I am basically ensuring that the songs I distribute are being distributed in a legally cover song compliant manner. What that means is that I can't be giving away free MP3 files, free wave downloads, free pieces of sheet music, access to my complete discography, as much as I'd love to. I mean, I'd love to give those things to the people who want them on Patreon for whatever pledge they may have pledged. But there is no way for me to log all those downloads that are being made on the posts. Like, if I post something and I attach, I don't know, the song name.mp3 and the song name.wave, I can't log how many of those have been downloaded, and there's no good way for me to efficiently set aside a certain amount of that Patreon pledge and pay that royalty to the original composer or the rights holder. Video game music licensing is a very weird and sort of a Wild West at the moment, just because it hasn't been around for very long, and the law has a lot of catching up to do. So I'm making these changes to remain more compliant with copyright law as I understand it, and I know it sucks. I wish I could be giving out the MP3s and the waves, but I'd rather be safe with this particular thing because I understand it, and there has been some precedent of Nintendo taking music things down before. You may have seen that a lot of uploads on the OST channel Gilva Sunner have been taken down, just from a few specific games. There haven't been so many takedowns by Nintendo of covers or remixes or anything like that. There was one period in 2015 where I heard of a few things happening, but nothing really huge as far as I know of. But I'm choosing to remain safe because this is my job and I want to make sure I can keep doing it as long as possible. So, on the subject of this being my job, I'm trying to figure out what format I'd like to do these Patreon videos in. But one thing I think I thought I would show is just go over some things that I used Patreon funds or like investments I made in the channel over the past month. And there are quite a few. So let me take you on a little journey. Wait, if I do this, here we go. Excellent, it's vlog time now. Okay. Okay, so here is my drum kit. This is a new kit that it's a Gretsch Catalina Club. I think it's a 7-piece kit. It came with 5 toms and a... Oh, can I do this? There we go. Oh, focus. There we go. 5 toms and a snare. I'm only using 3 of the toms, the kick drum, and I'm using my own snare that I've had before. It is a... Let me turn up the ISO. Wonderful. This kit is so much fun to play on. It's... I think you'll... The first video that you'll see it in is my... at the time of publishing this video, it's going to be coming out tomorrow, which is my rendition of the anti-piracy theme from Mario Party DS, which is a fan-made creation, but still a great song. I also got a couple sets of cymbals to go with the kit. So I got some Zildjian K custom darks, which are really useful for like normal jazz stuff, like I do. I love the sound of this ride. I wonder how it translates to the camera. Probably not very well. So a set of Zildjian Ks, a splash around the collection. Inside the cymbal bag is a nice set of the Benny Greb Minel collection, which I'm using in the Mario Party video, just for a more fusion, dry cymbal type sound. I also picked up this Zildjian A Swish Knocker, which is a crazy cymbal. It's got 20 rivets all the way around, and it's like a combination of a china and a ride cymbal. Nasty. It's often used in big band music. And I also got quite a few mics to use with the drum set. So these are on all the toms here. Yeah, focus. Yeah, these are Sennheiser E604s, I believe. I'm in a pack of 3, and I'm using them on the toms right now. That's new. And also, oh wait, it's actually down here. This is my Shure Beta 52, which I'm currently using as the kick in. This kick drum isn't ported or anything, so I'm using it on the outside to capture the sound of the beater. Yeah, those are the new mics I got to use. What else is new? Oh, there's also this this C stand right here, which I believe stands for Century Stand. It's a pretty cool piece of gear. I haven't actually used it yet, but my plan is that I can set this up and then use it for over-the-head top-down shots on the drum kit, sort of like, oh gosh, don't fall, please. Sort of like this, if I can get the camera high enough. Maybe I'll need a little wider of a lens, but I think this top-down angle looks so cool on drum videos, and I thought it would be nice to recreate it for the channel. But I'll need a C stand to be able to do that. So this was a big investment that was made in the year, or since December of last year. In combination, thanks to the funds from Patreon and also the funds from Sinnohvation that just came out. Good things have been happening. Hello, buddy. Hello. Hello, you are so cute. You got a nice bone there. Oh, I won't disturb you. So another new piece of gear at the end of 2020 was this, it's kind of weird to say it, but this is the a Yamaha C5 grand piano. Like there's oh, I just hit a table. There's a grand piano in the house. That's pretty crazy. Let me see if I can open this up. Got it open. So this is a 6'7" long grand piano. I think that's measured from like the start of the keys over here all the way to the end of the case. But this instrument is, oh my gosh, it's fantastic. I've always wanted one. I mean, I learned piano on an upright, so having a grand piano to play on finally is fantastic, honestly, because
it's hard to describe like the difference in feeling, but I mean, at least these long strings here are much better at replicating bass frequencies for bass notes, and the response of the key bed just feels fantastic. You'll see this in a lot of videos coming up. Certainly wasn't cheap, but combined with the proceeds from Sinnohvation, combined with Patreon support and all that stuff, I've been able to pick this up and use it to make really great music in the future. Quite a lot of upgrades in 2021 so far. I'll snap that back in. And honestly, probably some of the most expensive upgrades that I've ever had to make for the channel. But I think that these will be excellent future-proofing in terms of just getting things that I know I will never have to get more of. Like, it's not, I'm never gonna need to purchase another like grand piano or anything, you know, because that C5 up there is fantastic and it's, you know, good as is. I'd rather just get that out of the way rather than spend a bunch of money like for studio space all the time, or getting a new piano sample library and inevitably hating it after a certain period of time, which always seems to happen with the new libraries that I get. But now I can actually focus investing more time on practicing and improving the skills of the instruments rather than just always getting new pieces of software. I thought I'd also mention a few things about future projects, or first off, let's do the things that I'll talk about the videos I'm working on now, and then get into the future projects. That sounds good to me. So I've mentioned this one a few times, but the Mario Party Piracy's No Party video is coming out tomorrow, January 9th on the channel. It's my first video back doing, you know, various variety video game covers since the Year of Sinnoh finished. That'll be fun, and it's interesting song to do because technically speaking, it is fan made. Like, it's not really composed by a composer in Nintendo or anything. But it's still a good tune, and I figured, you know, if people on the internet know it, why not why not give it a shot? And I think it could be interesting. I have a version of Stall. I think it's Stall or Stall. There's no official pronunciation as far as I know. From Minecraft that I've recorded and is in mixing right now. I have a version of Bone Trestle from Undertale that I'm working on. I have a cover of First Steps from Celeste that I've finished arranging, and I don't know when I'll release that, but that one's also on the docket. Those ones are all being worked on now. As for some that I'm thinking about in the near future, probably sometime in February, I'll either be recording them in February or like releasing them in February. Not sure yet. Really depends on how things go with hiring out mixing and editing. But Cass's theme from Breath of the Wild is a high one. The Kingdom of Uriah from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm not sure if that has a different track name. I think it's just Kingdom of Uriah, which is a beautiful 3/4 song. The Torna battle theme from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna the Golden Country DLC. Amazing jazz battle theme in a JRPG, which I love that. I love that a lot. There was one more. What was the other one I was thinking of? Professor Layton's theme. That's been one that's been requested for a long time, and I've been wanting to do it. I might actually get an accordion to play on that theme, because there's a pretty cool accordion part in there. But those are some of the videos I'm working on now. Currently, I'm releasing on a bi-weekly schedule, meaning that I'm putting videos out every other Saturday. And I'm going to stick to that for the first few months of 2021. For the purposes of getting a good workflow going between me, the person I've hired for mixing, the people I've hired, and the person I've hired for, or I'm working on. I haven't actually hired these people yet, but I'm looking to pay them and have them be more consistently editing and mixing my videos, because the Year of Sinnoh was great, and it made me realize that if I did all the stuff myself until forever, I would just like go crazy, because there's so much work to do, and I think my efforts are personally better spent on doing the things that I know and do the best, which are arranging and recording the songs themselves. I think I'm okay with giving up a little bit of control when it comes to mixing the song and when it comes to editing the video, because I think as long as the source recording and the source arrangement is good, then there's not so much to worry about in terms of how it'll be received or what the quality will be, as long as I have it given to the right people. So that's what I'm working on now. I thought I would also touch on a few projects that have been going on for a while that will be happening in the future. One of them is the Sinnohvation vinyls. Just an update on that. If any of you patrons or people who have ordered them, currently they're still in production with our pressing facility. I believe that's the name of what they are. They're going through quality control right now and being made and manufactured, which is pretty cool. I'm not really that familiar with the process of making vinyls, but we've done, like, my team has done everything up front that we need to do, like provided the art and provided all the master recordings and stuff, and at this point it's just up to the plant to produce the vinyls, so that's still on track. Another one is Singing in the Rain, which is an album that I have recorded with my friend Adriana Figueroa. I have all the recordings of it on a hard drive currently, and I would like to release it this year. However, I am sort of trying to time, I'm not exactly sure when, because I would like to get back together with Adriana in person to at least, like, revisit the songs, maybe do a few touch-up things, and we're not really on a tight schedule for that release, but I still have all the stuff stored on a hard drive, backed up, it's all good, and it'll come out eventually, I promise. It's just a matter of time and figuring out what's exactly going to happen. So those are two, like, somewhat, I wouldn't call them, like, near future, like, sometime this year. Another sometime this year thing that I've been thinking about is doing more original composition. And I don't mean that just in the sense of, like, my songs like Forward and Flow that I've put out before, but I'm thinking of doing something kind of like writing a score for a video game that doesn't exist. Because I was doing a little bit of reflecting at the end of 2020, and I thought of things in my life that have given me, like, goosebumps or moments that I've really enjoyed. A lot of them were the result of live performances, like getting to play at MagFest, getting to play at PAX, things like that were fantastic experiences that I love to do again. Other ones were fantastic video games that I've played. Notably, I can think of the credit sequences from games like Chrono Trigger, Xenoblade 2, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, games that have, are mostly, honestly, JRPGs or RPGs in general that have fantastic stories like that. Those really get me, and I think that's something I'd like to contribute to, or at least lend my skills towards making that sort of thing happen more often. So I'd like to do more video game composition. And I haven't done a whole lot of composition myself. Obviously I've done a lot of arranging and production, so I think my chops are there as far as that goes. But I don't think I haven't trained my writing chops that much yet. Yes, I've written some original sections of arrangements, but I haven't done a whole lot of, like, full on, like, here is this tune, do the whole thing, you know. So I think that's what I want to work on. And my goal is getting videos produced for the Insane in the Rain music channel, pretty consistently with having people help me do it. So it's not like I'm loading all of this onto myself all the time. And if I can get it to a point where I can manage that channel without putting a huge amount of work in like I have been the past few years, I'll still be working hard on it, but splitting my time a little bit more efficiently and directing my resources more efficiently, then I can dedicate more time to making original music. And I think that this original music would probably fit best on a second channel. I already have one under my name, Carlos Eni, which is just like it's just a backup YouTube account. And I think I'd like to post more stuff on there, mainly original music. I don't know if they would be like full music videos like what I'm doing on Insane in the Rain Music, but that's what I'd like to work on freeing my time up to be able to do. And I think that'll happen sometime this year. My goal is to be able to start doing that sometime in April. If I can get a lot of content prepared January, February, and March, the first quarter, then I think that'll be a good start. Some longer term things, maybe not this year, but when I was talking about my reflection earlier and thinking about all the experiences that I enjoyed, one of them that I enjoyed the most was playing live, and I'd like to do more of that. And whether that means an Insane on the Tour, I'm not exactly sure. I don't really know what that would look like in terms of legality, like if it's... I play my arrangements live, but I don't know how it would work, like going to a venue and charging tickets for shows for people to come in. There's probably some legal implications with that, with game music, but I'm working on it, and I'll look into that. But I think that would be super cool, just getting a band of musicians together, going on an Insane on the Tour, making something cool happen. I think that would be really cool and a really special experience. And I would love to get to meet many more of you in person, because I've met quite a few people at conventions, but I know that there's another untapped population of people that just don't go to conventions or aren't close to one, or don't have the funds to get to one, but could still get to a live show if it was closer to them. So I'd like to make that happen. That's the one big long-term thing that I'm thinking about, and obviously COVID has lots of implications for that, so I wouldn't necessarily start doing the tour while COVID is still going on, of course. But for the after times, it's a strong thing that I'd like to consider doing. Any other future projects? I think that's about it at the moment. That's all I'm thinking about. So my plans for this month are to work on making new videos and getting the team integrated with my process. I want to take better care of myself too, because Year of Sinnoh has been very crazy on me as my mind and my my working capabilities. Like, I work pretty hard, but Year of Sinnoh, especially towards the end, that was really difficult. But I'm glad it's over, and I'm glad we're here now. And yeah, I think that's about all I've got to say. Thank you for watching this Patreon update vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you'd like to leave I don't know if this video will support comments if it's unlisted, but you can certainly leave a comment on the Patreon post associated with this video, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you have any comments or suggestions about things that you think I might want to look into in the future, then that would be very helpful information for me to have. But for now, I think that's all I've got to say. Thank you so much for your support as a patron, and I will see you in next month's video.